This is what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
Winning isn't everything, but it's the only thing. In our business, there is no second place. Either you're first or you're last.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready?
And now, the W with Walls and the crew.
Good morning.
Where winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. On 100.1 FM.
Good morning.
And Facebook Live.
Good morning, good morning. Right back like we never left. Another Saturday morning with the W Show Kansas City, talking sports and pop culture. Right on 100.1 FM, 1 Kansas City Radio. We're here, support Black KC businesses. Mega Market pop-up shop presented by Gifts. Right in the inner city, Kansas City. You won't miss us right off 71 Highway. If you're not doing nothing, come down and hang out with the W Show. We're here, like I said, Mega Market pop-up shop presented by Gifts. Good morning, everybody. How is everyone?
Good, man. Well, we're here.
Great to see you. You're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, Q.
Trying to be. Yeah. put in a good hard night shift last night. You put up 30 and 10 last night. 30 and 10. You know what I'm saying?
Next week, mess around and hit a triple.
You know what I'm saying?
How's everybody's week been?
It's been great.
It went by fast.
It surely did.
Yeah, it's very eventful, to say the least, news-wise. But
some sad news for you.
No. See, we're gonna get into that, but no, not sad news for me. But we'll get into that coming up on today's show. Speaking of the sad news that Q was talking about, the Chiefs they've topped all NFL headlines this week with the addition of JuJu Smith-Schuster and the trade of
that's not why.
And the trade of Tyreek Hill and the addition of Marquez Valdez-Scantling, wide receiver that they acquired from the Green Bay Packers. We'll talk about that plus a lot more, including Kyrie Irving, who's cleared to play in the Nets home games as New York Mayor Eric Adams alters vaccine mandate. Go figure. Right? We've been talking about that the last couple of weeks. And Royals owner John Sherman said that the team is exploring the architecture and economic impact studies and community engagement opportunities for its new downtown ballpark. Y'all ready for the stadium to be downtown?
No.
Kaufman, no downtown K. All right.
We'll see.
Coming up in about 30 minutes, we will have our sneakers of the week during our Hate It or Love It segment. Let's get to today's headlines.
And now, here are the biggest sports headlines from this week. We bring them to you every Saturday morning on the W with Walls and the Crew on 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
I think Steve is still deciding how he feels about this one. But the Kansas City Chiefs this week started with the addition of former Steelers wide receiver JuJu Smith-Schuster and trading wide receiver Tyreek Hill, the 3-time first-team All-Pro, 6-year Pro Bowl member of the NFL, 2010's All-Decade Team, and 16th in NFL history for the most receiving yards. Steve, how do you feel?
Here's the thing. From a fan standpoint, and normally when we're working, I try to take the fandom out of when I talk about the Chiefs and things like that. But from a fan standpoint, I understand where fans are coming from. Why did you guys trade the one of the best wide receivers in the NFL? And from a business standpoint, it's like, why not? He's 28 years old. Next year he'll be a free agent after next football season. And you got to understand, it's like he has built a reputation of being a great wide receiver. And what more would you be able to get out of him than right now? Right now is like the last of your last hoorah of being able to shop him around and sell him to another team, basically, and get something back for him. The Chiefs received 5 draft picks, which 1 first round, 2 second rounds, and I believe 2 fourth round draft picks for him. So, which is more than the Las Vegas Raiders got for arguably the best wide receiver in football. But you got to understand too is the fact that the Chiefs are now in, like, you can't say it's a rebuild. They just gotten a lot younger. And Patrick Mahomes, they're going to bet on him. You're going to bet on it's a quarterback league. You're going to bet on one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah, and I mean, I like that. I like that confidence in Patrick. But as of recent history has shown the past couple of seasons, he can't be Superman alone. And it's not that he's done it alone, but when you said what more can you get from him, a couple of more 1,000+ yard seasons, double-digit touchdown seasons. That's what's more you can get from him.
Tyreek.
Yeah,
you can only get possibly one more.
Well, and I'm saying if you figure out how to pay him, because I think he's in the same tier as Patrick Mahomes. I think it's a player that you don't want to lose, and you do everything you can to keep. And we talked about it on pre-production earlier in the week. It's like when the Royals split up, and they split up their nucleus of their 3. And it just messes up the continuity of the team. You look at JuJu; he might not be as demanding for the ball, but when you look at the role that Tyreek played, Tyreek did the most with the ball when he got it, and especially when you have when you're playing almost a decoy role because of your speed, you eat up the double team, so it opens up Travis. So now that's the question: like, is Travis going to be as good as he has been without Tyreek? And for me, I'm going to say no. Mostly because, again, Tyreek eating up most of the attention. That's the guy that they don't want touching the ball. But then you have another threat like Travis. But we'll see, because I'm not sure Juju or Scantling can fill those shoes from a speed perspective, and especially the way anytime Tyreek touched the ball, it was it was almost guaranteed to be a touchdown or a large gain.
One of the things that is kind of not highlighted about this whole thing is the fact that Tyreek Hill is 28 years old. And I mean, of course, he's been, Pro Bowl since he's come into the league, all 6 years. But him being a free agent next year, him buying a house in Miami last year, the team they knew what time it was. They knew. I mean, Tyreek, he loves Miami. He really does. He bought his parents a place there.
This was news to many Chiefs fans, by the way.
Yeah,
this was news.
That was the thing about it. When I tweeted out, like when they said that the report came out, it was like, all right, the Chiefs have given Tyreek Hill the opportunity to go and seek a trade. Allowing Drew Rosenhaus, his agents, to go and figure out a team. Tyreek knew what team he wanted to go to. They already had that in the works. The Chiefs coming out and saying that the Jets are another option, that was just, I think, a formality, right? That was just something to throw people off. But he knew all along that he was going to Miami.
This was, I think, the most underrated part about this is the fact that the Chiefs front office is operating like a successful franchise should. And I hate to say it because everything Q said was 100% true. The on-the-field product for this year is, it's not going to be as quality just because that is an all-pro, future Hall of Fame receiver who was directly in the middle of his prime. But when it comes to decisions like this, it is a business. And if you look at a front office like, I don't know, the Patriots.
Yeah, it's the Patriot way.
They make shrewd moves like this. Do you think Bill Belichick is going to pay a Tyreek Hill this $30 million a year contract and still maintain, a winning culture? This is about the 10-year plan rather than the 1-year plan. If you sign him for this next year, okay, you'll get, the same production. But at the same time, what happens if you don't win the Super Bowl like this past year? Then now you're paying this 29-year-old receiver $30 million a year, and that's eating up all the money that you could be, divvying out to elsewhere to help your team. So I think the front office seeing the writing on the wall, like you said, it was like Tyreek kind of wants to get out. He wants to, make his money that he's earned, and I'm very, very glad that he got.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm happy for him too.
As far as the Chiefs organization is concerned, I think both parties knew that this was probably going, we're going to separate, and the Chiefs, they like I said, it's about the 10-year plan rather than the 1-year plan.
Yeah, and that's, we talked about it being a business. Football is all sports are a business, but football, they out forecast. Basically, in a business, you're going to forecast out, okay, like this is our 2 to 5 year plan, 5-year window of Super Bowl contingency. And then you have a 5 to 10 year plan. And looking 10 years out, because you have Patrick Mahomes sold up for those 10 years, you want to make sure that you're getting the best bang for your buck. And they have to understand, it's like, all right, you may get another 1,000-yard season from Tyreek Hill, but then the following year, what are you going to have? You're not going to get anything for Tyreek Hill. You're going to be scratching your head like, man, I wish we could have got those 5 draft picks so we can parlay those into something else, or we could possibly draft another Tyreek Hill.
And it's funny. I'm surprised. Well, and it was probably before Noel's time, but this is very similar to the Dallas Cowboys when they traded away Herschel Walker.
Oh yeah, big time, big time,
to really make that turnaround for that early '90s team that made that dynasty run. I just don't think the Chiefs fare as well. I think the dynasty, I won't say the dynasty is done because anything can happen. But again, when you're looking at long term, again, I think Tyreek helps that, because I don't know if Juju can come in and be that leader. When you look at a leader at wide receiver, who is that? Like, who is that guy that's going to set the tone?
So, you being a leader, I mean, McCall is the only one that's been back, but none of these guys are rookies. None of these. You got Marquez Valdez-Scantling. He played. He's played with the Hall of Fame quarterback. You have JuJu, who's coming in, played with the Hall of Fame quarterback, and Ben Roethlisberger. So McCole played with. You can say it if you want, but I think down the line, Patrick Mahomes is a future Hall of Fame quarterback. So you have 3 guys that not only are coming in that have the experience, but they're all coming in trying to prove something. JuJu's coming in on a 1-year deal, knowing that with next year the salary cap is going to be increased. Wide receivers are getting the bag,
so he could be tiptoeing and dropping all the passes so he doesn't get hurt. Like,
no, he wants to get. He's not going to be a Tyrann Mathieu. Tyrann Mathieu has made his money. JuJu hasn't made as much as he can make yet. And then McCole and Marquez, they understand that if you come out and ball this season, you're going to get paid next year.
So they think their little baby was something to prove.
Yeah, exactly. There it is.
And of course, like you guys had mentioned, they've gotten draft picks in trade for him. What do you guys think that they should target in the draft? We know the defense needs help, but specifically, what do you think?
I think it's too late to develop defense. I think you have to find those free agents that can really come in and fill that hole. You had holes last season where you weren't very deep in the secondary, specifically corner and linebacker, and I think those needs need to be addressed. You need a splash. You need a second coming of Marcus Peters. You need somebody that can take the pressure off of Patrick Mahomes. And right now, the way the defense is constructed, I'm not sure it can.
I think first thing you need to do, and I've been kind of going back and forth in my head about what they can do with these 2 first-round draft picks. Right? I mean, you got 29 and 30. You basically got the AFC pick and the NFC champion pick. So what you got? So you can either parlay those into a high-profile player, being whether it's a veteran, or you can parlay those into moving up in the draft and getting a defensive end, which you're going to need. You're also going to need a corner, which you talked about. And the Chiefs are looking at other options as far as corner as well. But I think you got the safety position. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's top tier, but you can get by with the safeties that you have. And then you're going to need that stud linebacker. I agree, Darius. You're going to need a stud linebacker that can match up. You've won with Nick Bolton. You also have Willie Gay, but you need someone else in there in that mix. But you gotta put some priority on getting some defensive linemen that can get after the quarterback.
Now, on that same day when Tyreek Hill was introduced as a Dolphin, the Kansas City Chiefs also brought in reinforcement to help replace him. They signed former Green Bay Packers wide receiver Marquez Valdez-Scantling to a 3-year, $30 million deal. Noel, we'll start with you.
I feel like it's a decent move. It's not a bad move. I feel like it's right in the B range. It's like that's something that you needed to do. You needed to shore up your wide receiving core. I mean, and I feel like, honestly, I'm one of those people. I feel like this is a year for McCole to, step up and be who we think he should be. I think he has all the talent in the world. When we talked to him at the Super Bowl, he seemed like he was pretty, he seemed to know the offense. He said one of the things he said was, he was like, yeah, now I feel like I'm comfortable in the offense. I feel like I know all of my cues. I know audibles. I feel like I'm good. So I feel like, why not you this season? Why can't, why can't this be your Pro Bowl season? Now, of course, they've signed 2 wide receivers and they possibly might draft one, but I feel like this is McCole's year. So I feel like those other guys, even JuJu, I feel like they'll be complementary pieces. I would really like to see McCole step up and be that guy, be that number 1. So
a lot of people don't remember McCole was drafted to replace Tyreek Hill.
Exactly.
Well, and I think he was drafted to take the pressure off, not necessarily to replace, but I think to take the pressure off of him, especially in the kick return game. I think.
Well, no, because
didn't know
Tyreek was supposed to
gonna
be suspended because of the legal trouble that he was going through.
That's right.
And you got to remember, they looked up and down that draft board. What player can we get that reminds us of Tyreek Hill because it's worked for us so well?
Exactly.
Skip DK,
Right.
skip all the other wide receivers. Let's go get him. He reminds us of Tyreek Hill, so that's who we going to go get.
And that was unfortunate, but at the same time, it takes it. I mean, you know, everybody just can't jump out of the draft and be immediately, you know, impact 1,000 yard, 10 touchdown receiver. You know, it takes, you know, time. And so I just feel like this year it's set up perfectly for him to, I mean, he's got JuJu is to me a true number 2 receiver. I mean, we seen what happened with Pittsburgh, you know, AB left, and, you know, it was a kind of a little bit of a struggle being that, you know,
can you say that though?
Number one.
I was thinking about that. Can you say that Big Ben was on he's 5 years
declining?
He's 5 years past his prime.
Declining. I get that part. So, I would, you know, okay, we won't say it's a struggle. We'll say that they couldn't, you know, agree on, you know, is he a number 1 receiver truly, like with the quarterback that they had. But I'll say that he's a bona fide number 2. Like we know that, like if there's a guy on the other side that you can get the ball to consistently and is being double teamed, JuJu will turn in his 1,000+ yards and his 10 touchdowns.
And so you guys alluded to it because again, you look at that Steelers team after Mike Wallace, after AB leaving, who is your leader? It's not JuJu. It's not Chase Claypool.
He's a leader if you want to get him to do some TikTok videos.
Exactly. But
he's leading you in that.
And that's what I'm saying.
Corvette.
There has to be a leader on the field, and especially when you look at that position, when you look at the wide receiver position for the Chiefs, previous, it was Tyreek. And Scantling can possibly be that. And I know McCole probably wants that role, but McCole, I think, suffers from the same thing that Hollywood Brown suffers in that size. It's not having that size and power that a Tyreek and a couple of different players have, especially when it comes to running the ball. And that's, you know, that's the downside that you have from not having Tyreek, because Tyreek is just one of those anomalies with speed, strength, but then also being able to create with the football. And McCole can create with the football. It's just, you know, a matter of, you know, breaking those tackles and just being as elusive as a Tyreek in this offense.
And one more thing about this before we move on, you got to remember Marquez Valdez-Scantling. He is 6'4", runs a 4.3, and he's averaged 20 yards a catch last season.
But again,
so he can stretch the field and take the top off too.
But you look at that opposite of Devontae Adams, which is going to eat up. So again, like, yes, you have these players that could come in and make an impact, because now the focal point is going to be on Travis. And again, I think Travis, I think that hurts Travis a lot.
Now, some people ask me, did I feel like this is going to be the end-all be-all lineup for this Chiefs wide receiving core? I don't think so. I think they still have some moves that they're going to make. They're going to go out and get someone. Could it be Landry? Could they use those 2 picks to go get a Tyler Lockett or a DK Metcalf? I mean, it's possible. I mean,
I don't think they should.
They still can go get a bona fide number 1 wide receiver. But look, these guys, like we said, coming in here with something to prove. So I feel like they're going to try to make something work.
Somebody else who's tried to make an impact, Kyrie Irving cleared to play in Nets home games as New York Mayor Eric Adams alters vaccine mandate. Q, we'll start with you.
I mean, I know Kyrie probably feels good about this, but it wasn't because of Tyreek. It wasn't because of Kyrie. It was because of, you know, baseball. They want the Mets on the field.
I was just going to say, thank you, Q. Thank you.
And that's literally all it is. Kyrie is just a byproduct of, you know, the success of whatever backdoor money dealings that happened, because, you know, the change of tune switched. It was just like what was the CEO of whatever airline and said, oh, we should get back to work. we should have COVID restrictions going from 14 to 5 days.
And one real quick, some breaking news: the Chiefs have signed former Tampa Bay running back Ronald Jones to a 1-year deal.
Can't beat them, bring them on.
Hey, no. We talked about Clyde Edwards-Helaire a lot. Like, he's not, like, I like Clyde, but he's not the end-all be-all of every down running back. Ronald Jones is a big back that can take a bruising.
And again,
it's number one on the field as well.
And I think it's the same thing with Clyde. Like with Clyde, you're missing that like power type of run with the ball that you had with went to Cleveland.
Darrell Williams?
No.
Kareem Hunt.
Yeah. And so Kareem Hunt, because again, you look at those two guys, they're pretty much comparable in size. But Kareem Hunt was just a lot more powerful, especially running the ball.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, on that Kyrie, man, I'm happy to see Kyrie, the basketball player, on the floor, because he's a magician with the basketball. Literally, probably the best handle I've ever seen in my entire life. So, and it helps the Nets. As far as the actual vaccine mandate thing, it just sets a precedent for just foolishness.
Let's hear what the NYC mayor Eric Adams had to say about it.
That is not only the game of baseball, but that's the game of life. And we have to be on the field in order to win in both the game of life. Today, I signed Emergency Executive Order 62, expanding the performance exemption to private employer mandates. This is about putting New York City-based performance on a level playing field. Day one, when I was mayor, I looked at the rule that stated hometown players had an unfair disadvantage for those who were coming to visit. And immediately, I felt we needed to look at that. But my medical professionals say, Eric, we're at a different place. We have to wait until we're at a place where we're at a low area and we can re-examine some of the mandates.
I call all cap. Like, look, he understands that there are two other teams that need to have, they're going to have players that need to be playing Major League Baseball, right? You got the Yankees, and you got the Mets. So with that being said, there's a lot of money floating around, and I think he's caught up in a little bit of that. And pride, he had to move his pride to the side, and like, all right, and I hate it for him too, because it's like he wanted to stand firm.
He did, because you remember when he said, "Oh, he can play."
Yeah,
he just got to get vaccinated.
He wanted to stand firm, but then that mayoral office in New York City,
he got all the smoke.
Well, and looking from the reverse lens, that comment could have been performance.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been the bluff.
Could have been
to say, hey,
we don't know where he's at. We don't know. We don't know where,
we have no idea. We just know that money talks and
BS walks.
Literally. I was waiting for the choir. GP, if you're with
me. And drop the mic. We're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we'll discuss Royals owner John Sherman's statement that the team is exploring the architecture, economic impact studies, and community engagement opportunities for its new downtown ballpark. This is the W Show. We'll be right back.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC We Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC We Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC We Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC We Spin 360 can be found online at KCWeSpin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
Don't be depressed, frustrated, or stressed because of the loss of a loved one. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services is here to assist you with a smooth, stress-free transition. It doesn't matter how your loved one transitioned, we will offer you a memorable celebration to your liking. We are a family-friendly, full-service funeral home right here in the heart of the city, offering affordable cremations and package pricing and quality service. Call us when you need us. 816-231-GATE. That's 816-231-4283. There's only one Golden Gate, located at 2800 East 18th Street, Kansas City, Missouri. Exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Use hashtag Talk About It. Message us. We'll talk about whatever topic you want. Now, the Sweet 16 portion of the bracket wrapped up yesterday. And how are the brackets looking? No, no, don't even want to talk about it, man.
I really don't. It's bad. This is probably the worst bracket I've ever had in the history of filling.
Hold up. Why is it always when somebody bracket, it's like, man, it's the worst bracket I've ever done?
It is, man. It is. I guess wrong on pretty much everything. I mean, St. Peter's is just running through. What's so funny about that is when I was in high school, I actually got recruited by them like a tiny bit, like me and the coach. I was like, man, small school. I ain't going all the way up to New Jersey. Here they are in the we're in the Elite Eight now. Yeah. I'm like, man, okay. Sorry, St. Peter's.
But sometimes those are the most dangerous teams when you don't have nothing to lose and the momentum at this rate, like –
yeah.
As much as you want to hate on him, be like, man, who is this? I got to put some respect on him.
You got to. And they're really that coach they have, Shaheem Holloway, he's amazing. He's like if I'm actually watching the game and the X's and O's and the plays that he's calling, he's doing a great job. So I'm.
But he said something that which really struck me, and when he did his post-game interview, he said, man, I just let my guys play. I let my guys be my guys and let them go out and do their thing. I play 4 guards, 1 big, and let them just go out and go.
Mm-hmm.
And I love coaches like that. And you could just tell that they're playing free. They're playing with nothing to lose. And one of the other things he also said was that every team that we are playing right now, all of my guys feel like they should be on those programs.
Right.
And they should be starting for those programs. So, like I said, they're all playing with chips on their shoulders. And it's cool to see. I love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely think there's a difference between a system team and just players who are just hooping.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I feel like that's what's exciting about watching them in transition and just hooping and the confidence.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I gotta root for it. Root for it. But at the same time, North Carolina, we were just talking about it before the show, that their guards are coming with it too. We had the one that you guys said, from St. Louis.
Yeah, he's another one of the State Line Showdown All-Stars, man. I love Caleb. He's actually a cool kid.
Mm-hmm. Nah, he was out there, man. You could tell. You could tell he felt disrespected for whatever reason because he was angry. Every shot, every three he was hitting, it was like, this was for you and this one's for you. And I was loving it. You know, the tournament is all about your guards, your guard play. So.
Yeah, who do you guys got today? We got Arkansas, Duke, and then we have who else? Houston, Villanova.
Man, this
just give me your final
Houston.
4.
I do like Houston.
Yeah, okay. I like Houston. I like Houston versus Villanova, and I really like Paolo. He's a really great player, but man, Arkansas, they just got a bunch of dogs. And they play that really tough, hands-on defense. So I don't know. I really can't call it. I can't call it in that game. The Kansas and Miami game, I feel like Kansas is
on a roll.
They're on a roll. Their best players, in my opinion, their 2 best players didn't even actually play that well, and they still won. So it was like,
I texted Jazz this yesterday about KU. I'm like, first of all, Ochai has to. The reason that he didn't go to the league last year was the fact that they wanted him to step up his jumper, and they also wanted to see him handle the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He made his jump. He made his jumper a lot better than what it was. I mean, night and day from last few years. But he has to handle the ball. He just does. And I understand, like, you got to get with the flow of the game. And the little point guard, he's playing really well.
Yeah, Remy is playing great. He's playing
his energy.
He's a transfer. He's a transfer.
Yep.
Was it Pac-12 top scorer?
Yes. No, he came from, what was it, Arizona State, if I'm not mistaken. And I mean, Ochai, he's a wing. He's a big wing, and you're right.
Still got to hit
when it comes to this portion of the tournament, it's like, all right, we getting down to it. Can you make a shot or not? Can you get in there, 1 dribble, 2 dribble pull-ups? Can you, on your jumper, when you have to fade because a guy's in your face, can you hit it? And I mean, Ochai, he's got to show that in these last games. He's got to show that in order to show these scouts that he's worthy of that lottery billing that he's getting right now.
I mean, drive to the take your guy off the dribble, drive to the basket 1 or 2 times. Like, just for me, just 1 or 2 times. Like, come on, give him that. Give him the 1-2 dribble pull up, like you said. Come on, man. You gotta. And I understand. It's like, all right, you're a wing. You're 6'5", 6'6". You gotta be able to go and get it when your team needs it. Like you had, what's the other guy? KU, Christian Brown. Then you had Jalen Wilson. He was able to go get it the past few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Jalen Wilson has been really attacking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, you know, do you think he could be a little bit more like LeBron? You think he could be a little more clutch?
Who? Smiles in here because I'm like,
Ochai. Oh man, I mean, our guy Ochai, we're waiting. That's all. We just want to see it because you're the bet. You're the All-American. You're the first team All-American. You are the guy on that team. They go as far as you. So we would love for you to see drop 30 and 10 and get, you know, most Final Four outstanding player on the way to a national championship. So,
and Jazz, I agree with your dad, Duke Palmer. He said, "Rock chalk. Remy is a difference maker, but the downfall could be a lack of a true dominant big man." I definitely agree.
Facts.
He needs that king mentality.
We definitely have quite the TED Talks in our living room after games, so we've already talked about it. But yeah, I think the biggest worry, I know Noel had mentioned some dogs, and I think that's where they could run into some trouble if they have to deal with some dogs down low.
Yep.
Just because McCormick can be inconsistent sometimes.
SOFT, soft.
Oh man,
that boy's soft.
All caps.
Man. What is he class? What is he? A sophomore, junior? What is he?
Not coming back next year.
Right.
He's not. He's a senior. Wow.
Okay. He will be replaced.
Ugly.
Okay.
Ugly.
Well, no, sometimes if you have a young guy like that, he has to just figure it out. Like figure out that your team, you're bigger than and stronger than everybody else on the floor. Get the ball, foot in the paint, go to work.
Exactly. Put your shoulder into somebody's chest and just go through them. You're gonna get charges being as big and strong as you are. Keep going. Keep going.
But y'all know the turning point in every game and what the demoralizing thing to every team is when KU throws a oop from Brown to Ochai.
Every time.
That like turns the game. Whatever situation they're in, if they catch that, hey, it turns the game.
Especially out of timeouts. I know we try to guess what they're drawing up out the timeout. If you do that, stinger for real. Now, Royals owner John Sherman said that the team is exploring the architecture, economic impact studies, and community engagement opportunities for its new downtown ballpark. How are you guys feeling about this ballpark downtown?
I hate it, for one, especially for the KC Mo School District. There's a lot of development going on downtown, and we're just telling them don't pay taxes, and the school district hurts from that. But outside of that, which is probably the most important part, but after that, yeah, you have something that can invigorate the city. I hate it for the city.
I think from what the comments, I'm a comment scroller. I like to, get in these stories, and I like to, these tweets, and I like to read comments. And it seems like what the people are most, not liking the most about it is like the tailgating part. Like, where is the tailgating going to take place? Where's that parking lot where it's like going to be everybody can just get there and have a good time? And that, I know Busch Stadium is down, downtown in St. Louis, and they've had issues with that as well. So I don't know. I'm not a big downtown stadium guy either, if I'm being honest.
Let's see what John Sherman had to say about it.
John, last time we talked to you publicly, you mentioned the new ballpark, and where are you guys at in that process?
We've got a team working hard on that. There's been And we've got, we're looking at multiple sites. We've engaged some really good firms to help us, look at that both in terms of sports architecture, economic impact studies, and things like that. One of the things, the way I look at it, Andy, is that we're one of only 25 cities in the United States with a Major League Baseball franchise. There's 4 cities have 2, and there's 1 in Canada. And so these are really, really valuable assets for a community. And so I'm interested. So why shouldn't we want to optimize the value of this asset on behalf of our community? I'm kind of interested in how the community wants to. So a lot of it's engagement, different parts of the community. We're doing the work around, real estate, sites and architecture and, financing and those types of things, trying to understand, the mix of public. I look at this as ultimately will be a public-private partnership, and we'll be big investors in that partnership.
The key word right there was public-private partnership,
Exactly.
which means they want to partner with the city of Kansas City, and they're going to put up, let's just say a ballpark costs, $1 billion to put downtown, give or take. They're going to want the city to put up $500 million, and they're going to get some money from somewhere else. And John Sherman's going to put up another $300 million, but they want the city to fund it, which means higher taxes for people that live in Kansas City. It's coming though. Like
it's coming.
It either Kansas City of Kansas City is going to pay it, or they're going to move it to KCK.
Mm-hmm.
And Kansas City, Kansas will pay it. I guarantee you that the Kansas City, Kansas out by the Legends, they're already looking at land. Like, all right, if they don't want to pay you, bring it on out here. Come on over to Death Row.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you,
what's the welcome to Death Row?
So Kansas City fans, look, if you guys do not want to pay, then they're going to go ahead and move it. If the city doesn't want to pay, they're going to move it. Now, a lot of these new stadiums, the city foots a lot of that bill.
Yes, exactly. And so does the kids in the school district that is suffering.
Unless it's SoFi Stadium, a stadium like that where the owner has tens of billions of dollars to put in, but this owner doesn't have that type of capital, or at least I don't know. I'm not counting his pockets or anything, but at least I don't know that he has that type of money. So I feel like that if the city of Kansas City does not want to pay it, look, they're going to be going in. They're going to be. So do y'all would y'all want to see? And I want people to chime in on this that's watching and listening on One Kansas City Radio, 100.1 FM, or watching on social media. Would you guys like to call the Royals the Kansas Royals?
Hey, I'm from here.
Why would they change the team? Why would they change the name?
Because if I run the visitor bureau in Kansas, I'm calling it the Kansas Royals.
That's not happening.
If I'm giving you this money, I'm changing the name to what we want to make it.
I mean, but it's still in Kansas City. Yeah. Kansas, I know you Missouri and Kansas.
You know how it is.
I know how y'all don't like to separate. Y'all like to separate the two, and it's not one. But if it's in Kansas City,
it's the
Kansas,
state line beef, and it's so
silly.
they can say that KCK is not Kansas City, and then we get into that whole.
No,
if it's in KCK, fine, and especially if some of that money again goes towards the school district that helps rebuild the community. They always say community, but you notice it's never
KCK Royals.
It's never anything about the community in there. He mentioned finance when he said community. He mentioned architecture, but he didn't say anything about community but community.
He really, I ain't gonna lie, that statement said really not a whole lot, even if there was stuff in there that I didn't understand.
Said she doesn't see it being a name change. It doesn't make sense. Look, Krista, if the city of Kansas City, Kansas is giving the Royals $500 million, $500 million, they're going to say Kansas Royals. That's just me. If I'm the mayor of KCK, we call it the Kansas Royals.
Steve has no evidence.
I was going to say, he ain't even.
So basically what's going to happen is Steve's going to start an insurrection downtown over something that has no evidence.
You go see me outside the Sprint Center with a clipboard. Hey, sign your name here. A petition.
Steve's fighting voter fraud.
Oh, man. No way, because it's still Kansas City, Kansas. It's still Kansas City. So.
Krista said, I'm from KCK, so I'm good with it.
I mean,
Mike Lane said they should have renovated Kemper Arena.
Yeah. Huh. I mean,
Hy-Vee's not giving that up, and
they paid $1 for it,
and
$1 is crazy.
I was gonna say some privileged information.
Now, Vanessa Bryant continues partnership with Nike to honor Kobe and Gianna Bryant's legacy. Q, we'll start with you.
I mean, for them to continue that, it's great. We probably should have started with Steve because I know Steve wants to host a parade for this.
Of course. I mean, I too would like to be a part of that parade.
Kobe shoes. Why Q always, when we talk about Kobe, why does Q always like make me out to be the bad guy? That's what I want to know.
That wasn't the bad guy.
We needed these shoes.
What bad guy puts on a parade?
What? No, but I think it's great. Like, I think, they finally, because there was some discrepancy, whatever it was, and I think it had a lot to do with money.
Of course.
Between Kobe Bryant's wife, Vanessa Bryant, and Nike. And I'm happy that they were able to come to some sort of agreement, and the shoes that are coming out will be dedicated to in remembrance of Kobe Bryant and his daughter, and also all of the other people that were affected by this, and including the pilot as well. So I feel like it's going to be great, and I think the money that they're able to bring in for Kobe Bryant's foundation is going to be significant, right? And it's going to help as well.
You got to start making friends with Ann's son right now.
No, but that's the other thing I was going to get to. Is like, as long as they make enough shoes,
they won't.
To where, and I know, but just one, at least a couple of the pair make enough shoes to where everybody, not everybody, but
the people who want to wear them actually get to wear them, and they're not sitting in a warehouse somewhere for 10 years.
There's some warehouse.
There's some Jordans that have been coming out that, like the Cool Grays.
Yeah.
They made a lot of those. A lot of people were able to get them. Like, next day you can still get them. Now they're sold out now, but at least people had the option to be able to get them. And they're not $165, $170. I mean, Kobe's have been $120, $125, somewhere in there. So
you will see, because the Sixes, they're my favorite. They're my favorites, and they're favorites among the NBA players, and they're very popular. So we'll see what the price tag on these are. But I'm of the mind that they're going to be up there. 170s, 180s. That's gonna stink.
Come on, Vanessa.
Like, come on, man.
I was riding with you until you did that.
Oh man, because I'm talking about when I first got my Sixes. I remember I got them at the Nike outlet store, and they cost me $80, and they're brand new. They just came out, brand new, $80, and I was like, "Cool, I can do this." Steal, basically. I basically walked out of there with them. But yeah, I'm thinking 170, 180. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Now we're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we'll have our Hate It or Love It segment, kick it off with our sneakers of the week. This is the W Show. We'll be right back.
Kansas Royals.
Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC WeSpin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC WeSpin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC WeSpin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC WeSpin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
Don't be depressed, frustrated, or stressed because of the loss of a loved one. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services is here to assist you with a smooth, stress-free transition. It doesn't matter how your loved one transitioned, we will offer you a memorable celebration to your liking. We are a family-friendly, full-service funeral home right here in the heart of the city, offering affordable cremations and package pricing and quality service. Call us when you need us, 816-231-GATE. That's 816-231-4283. There's only one Golden Gate, located at 2800 East 18th Street, Kansas City, Missouri. Exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Use hashtag talk about it. Message us, and we will talk about whatever topic you want.
Time for Love It or Hate It.
Hate it.
If we love it, we talk about it. If we hate it, we move on.
Starting off our sneakers of the week this week, we have the Air Jordan 3 SE Canvas.
I love these shoes. However, there's always a caveat, right? Like, it's one word that got me: canvas. Once these cream shoes get dirty, it's gonna be a wrap.
I'm rocking, but I can't wear them. They just look good. Like they just they look. I like the aged kind of look, but like you said, man, as soon as you step outside in them joints, it's a wrap.
Yeah, the 3s and 4s that they're making is like they're making this strictly for the red carpet. Hop out your limo, go to the award show, back in the car, into your house. Like,
hope it's not raining.
Step on no grass.
Hope it's not raining.
Nothing.
No moisture on the ground.
Nothing.
But you know what? You wear these with some jeans or something, and the blue off of your pants are gonna be like all on the black, whatever. Yeah, it's bad.
That's why you just need to wear skinny jeans, Steve. It's fine.
So they don't even touch my ankles.
No. Yeah. They got the right idea.
I'm just gonna tuck mine in.
Now, my personal favorite this week, the Dunk High Venom Anthracite Black and White.
Love them.
Tough. That black is smooth.
Simple.
They decent.
Nike Air Max 1 Blueprints.
My favorites.
That's your color.
Favorites?
That's my favorite. Yes, these are my favorite. I love these. Like these are
they're okay.
I mean, give me these next ones.
Steve likes the color combo more than the shoe, I think.
No, I like Air Max 1s, man. That's one of my favorite Air Max besides the 95s.
Really?
Yeah.
I will say Air Max 1s are the most uncomfortable shoe I've ever worn in my entire
See, you got to get a size up. That's what make them more comfortable. If you get your true size, you got to get not half a size, but a size up.
I guess I've been doing it wrong all my life.
You have.
They're terrible, but all right.
These got a lot going on, but the concepts, Nike Air Max 1 Far Outs.
I'm rocking.
these.
I'm rocking. They
these.
tight. They tight.
Yeah, these are the colorful kind. Only thing that I don't like is the bandana purple that's going around the bottom.
If they
It's
did
just
the
kind
red,
of wow.
the red would have been better, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if
gangbanging jazz
Yeah.
with the red bandana around the bottom.
The purple is a bit much. They did that sent it for me, but I'd
You
still
from Grape Street, you wear those.
That's where Steve wants to go.
Really, we ain't taking you there neither. So
I'm good. Now the dates are set for the 2023 NFL Draft that will be held right here in the heart of Kansas City.
Yes,
April
sir.
27th through the 29th. Hate it or love it.
oh,
I love it.
Love
I love
it.
it.
we gonna be there.
Love it. You talk about money coming into the downtown area. This is going to be
Big.
a lot of money being infused into the city. People don't understand how big drafts are. People travel from all across the world to represent their team.
Yeah.
It's going to be in the heart of the city, right at Union Station. There are going to be some other sites around, but in Liberty Memorial area, it's going to be pretty nice, man. I can't wait to see it. And the new airport will be done, which no more showing up 5 minutes before the plane takes off.
Darn. No, really, that's a real darn. Like, darn. Like, I loved it. That was my favorite thing about KC. Like,
I got to get that pre-check now.
Yeah.
Steve always brags, but I'm going to have to tap in because I definitely cut it close. But Deion Sanders reveals which NFL team skipped Jackson State football pro day. Hate it or love it.
I love it. Call him out.
it.
Call him out, Deion.
call him out.
And that's the thing. A lot of NFL owners just like to hide behind their anonymity, and not really anonymity, but they don't have to talk as much, and they just hide behind that and just never say anything, and then they skip around the subject. So love it.
Love it. Arizona basketball star does not recall touching TCU showgirl, but wants to apologize. Hate it or love it.
They made such a big deal out of this. It's kind of crazy though, because he was coming off the court, was celebrating, accidentally hit the young lady. The biggest thing was he didn't say, "Oh, I'm sorry" at that time, but he was walking like it wasn't a big deal until someone made it a big deal.
Do we have the video?
We don't have the video, but if you guys go to our W Show page on Facebook, you'll be able to see it. But it's weird.
It was weird. I think he knew he did it, but it was one of those. He's like, "Oops, let me just
scurry,
and like move on." But man, this was not a big deal at all.
Yeah. They shouldn't have been on the court at the time.
Exactly.
And the backstory for people that didn't see the video, he was walking out, had his arms wide. The player had his arms wide. The young lady was sitting there, and he wasn't even looking and accidentally hit her upper section of her body, and they made it a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I ain't got no money, Mike Tyson says. He wants $1 billion to fight Jake Paul. Hate it or love it.
Yeah.
Get your money, Mike. Yeah, look,
$1 billion.
If nobody says it, how would they be able to get it? What did they say? Closed mouths don't get fed,
man. and then also it also shows you that the powers that be are going to make a lot of money off of this. So yeah, if y'all gonna make some money, I need to make some money too. I'm not just y'all
$1 billion.
I believe Floyd, and this is far from $1 billion, but Floyd made $80 million. Or no, Mike Tyson made 80. It was between Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. That fight made $80 million when they fought. So, yeah, it can be done. It can be done if they hyped it up enough.
$1 billion, you think he reached $1 billion? That's a whole economic ecosystem.
Floyd Pacquiao made $300 million.
It's $1 billion.
That's a lot of money, but you got to get a lot of endorsements. You have to build it up. Like Jake Paul has to do something crazy,
but
not
I'm
the
saying
gotcha hat
that's
type crazy.
$1 billion
but some other stuff.
to Mike Tyson, though. That's just one guy. $1 billion.
Yeah,
I think that's
he's not worth $1 billion. His name alone. Go get an autographed boxing glove from Mike Tyson right now. See how much it's worth.
Also, you look at $1 billion.
$100,000.
Yes,
that's $100,000.
He has to remove his staff from what they already are doing and concentrate on a bigger bag. So yeah, if you want me to stop what I'm doing to help you make some money, I better be taken care of handsomely.
$1 billion is a lot. That's why he said that number, because ain't nobody gonna do it. That'll never happen.
I mean,
ever.
Shoot. Never say never.
If where there's a will, there's a way. If you want this to happen, I want it to happen too.
Now, Trailblazers fined $40,000 by NBA after throwing fans' phone into the stands. Hate it or love it.
I hated the fact that it's coming to this. Like all the fans that are sitting courtside or in ear reach of these players, y'all got to stop. Like y'all got to stop. Yeah. I understand. Just like you can't even have a civil trash talk with the player now.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even have a civil trash talk with a player like you used to be able. Like, man, you suck. You're trash. You can't do that anymore just because of the guys that are taking it too far.
And we talked a little bit about it at the Big 12 tournament, because when we were sitting right by the court, and even the band hollering things, it's like, I don't know if I can keep composed. I can only keep composed for so long, and it's like, there's a reason why I'm down here.
Especially if I'm losing.
And you yelling at me.
Especially if I'm losing.
That's
like,
funny.
we are all former athletes, right?
Mm-hmm.
It takes you kind of to a different vibe when you are engaged in the game, and you're like, man, this is a big game, and you come and talk crazy to me. I'm not for it. I'm not gonna have it.
There's a line that doesn't need to be crossed, though. I think if you keep it straight up on the basketball court, you stink, or you can't shoot, or whatever. But when you start bringing in family members like this fan, this fan is accused of, you start bringing in other people, and you start just crossing lines that don't need to be, like, that has nothing to do with what's going on between these lines.
Yeah.
So that's when you get situations where the kid is lucky he just threw his phone. Like, he could have thrown him. Like, you could have picked him up and threw him into the stands. And now we're talking about assault.
Let's see the video.
Let's see what happened. It's kind of
like as soon as you touch his phone, that's a fine. But then when you chuck his phone across the court,
another 30,000.
That's another fine. Like you took it up into another level.
Y'all gotta stop messing with these Eastern Europeans. They are from the hood over there, like where Like you talk about, we got black people, they from the hood. No, these Eastern Europeans, that is the hood over there.
But you have to remember too, though, he has to remember as a player, as an athlete, a professional athlete, getting paid millions of dollars, right? These young kids are trying to go viral.
They want the video,
you're doing them a service by throwing his phone. Not only are you going to make him go viral, but you're going to get him paid as well.
True.
So yeah, because we love to pay villains over here in America. we pay villains top dollar to be villains.
That little kid wasn't nothing but 12, 13 years old.
He was young and he looked he was shook. You could tell he like went into his chest. Like he was
First of all, you parents need to start handling your kids a little better. I wish Peyton would.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve.
Be sitting courtside and you're gonna talk. Now, if it's Brian, then okay.
Here we go.
But
if it's anybody else, man, be cool, dog. Be cool.
Chill out, dog. Chill out.
About an hour ago, he said, "I tried to take my fandom out of the show."
LeBron.
I gotta bring up old dudes.
You gonna get Peyton? You gonna get Peyton choked, man?
Ugly, man.
You gonna get that, man? You gonna kill his career before he even get one, hey, man. Come on.
The lie detector test determined that was a lie.
Now, Chandler claims at least 5 teams have called about Colin Kaepernick. Hate it or love it.
I love it.
Good.
Even though it's performative, but yeah.
I hope he makes it back in the league personally. So,
yeah, it's kind of cool to hear that, but then it's like, is this just a smokescreen?
Mm-hmm.
Is this just a smokescreen? Like, oh, well, are teams really calling to make other teams be interested?
Well, no. So again, I think it's performative. Again, I spoke about it. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. I think it's in the best interest for the NFL, especially PR wise, to have him on a team. So yes, I think some strings are being pulled, just like strings were pulled for the Mets to play their games.
Right.
I think some strings are being pulled that he's going to be on a team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Time will tell. It's now or never.
Yeah.
Now or never.
There's always next season too.
And the season after that as well.
The NFL's never in a rush until it's to give them money.
And if our listeners and viewers are wondering where we are with the Support Black Business, Black KC Businesses mega market pop-up shop presented by Gift right here. It's happening 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Right here at 5008 Prospect KCMO 64130. So come down, hang out with us, support these KC Black businesses. We're going to be here for a little bit longer. We appreciate everybody who tuned in to watch us today. What you guys got winning tonight? Houston?
I ain't gonna guess because my guesses have not been good at all. Not gonna guess. Nope.
Shout out to my bracket. Until next week, we are out of here.
The views and opinions expressed on the W Radio Show by the host, co-host, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W Show, 100.1 FM, One Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, Team Wall Street Foundations, or affiliates.